Hello, Seeking Vibrant Health. It's Dr. Rachel Northern here. I do got a live audience today. Woo! First time in like a couple years, so I'm very excited. So, it is springtime. So, springtime, every spring, we talk about purification diet. So, I'm really excited. I know most people don't want to be excited about this, but I love this time of year to just cleanse and restart and just get everything going. So this is the greatest time. I used to do this at the beginning of the year, like in January, when everybody's coming out of the holidays, and everybody's like New Year's resolutions and things like that. But talking to my other fellow colleagues in the holistic world, acupuncturists, and those people that work with the cycles of everything in nature, they say it's actually better to do it in spring. And I found when I switched the routine, it worked better for me as well when I did it in spring. There was a little kind of more of a push to do it in January. Plus, you still had like Valentine's candies and everything else coming up, another something that might not help you stay on it. So this is a great time to do it. So if you've ever been interested in detoxification, purification diets, this is a great time. I'm trying to keep it down to like just the basics today of this program. So first off, are you living in this? Are you living in a burning house? Like, is this kind of like your body? Yes, I have some audience. Like, yeah. So do you feel like you're inflamed? Like you're just sore? You wake up in the morning sore, fatigued? All these things going on. So this is kind of trying to put the fire out. The detox. Like actually, I started this week. I did a little bit last week, but I just took for full bore Monday, my husband and I, and it's like amazing how much better I feel already on day 4. So I already feel like just more vibrant, and I don't have certain soreness, even though my trainer killed me on Tuesday. So there's a lot of things. This is just the thing of the U.S. top causes of death, and I show this slide a lot because it's the reality. Okay, so we have heart disease, cancer. We do have accidents, which we can't. That's just accidents or accidents. Chronic respiratory diseases. So your bronchial stuff, the lung stuff, asthma. You have stroke. You have the dementia, the mental. Decreasing the mental capacities. You have diabetes, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. 6 of them are lifestyle related problems. So we induce most of these on ourselves. So which means what's relating to what we put in here and what we do with our booty. And like, are we getting up? Are we moving? So this is like fact, like we know this. So it's pretty serious. So one of the things that I talk about frequently is like physical health. Like, this is my passion, is physical health. And the keys to optimal physical health is making sure all your systems are running. So that's what I do as a chiropractor. Make sure your nervous system is fully operational, communicating, and all the organs are getting all the juice and the electricity is getting to them to know what to do, and the communication. The second thing is optimal nutrition going in your body. So this program helps with that. Helps okay, let's maximize our nutrition going in, so we can put the proper building blocks, so we can rebuild all the cells, because our cells are constantly turning over. If you do not know this, you have a completely new body, as in your cells have completely turned over every 7 years. So that means your nervous system, all your cells in your nervous system, all the cells in your digestive system. It's around 7 years is the numbers that occurred. So, whatever you're building now is like whatever you're putting in now is building the body of the future. So you want to support it. So another thing, 3, reduce toxins. So we talk a lot about the toxins, like first off, eliminating food toxins in your diet, the artificial sweeteners, we'll go more into that, flavorings, all these other things that clog up the liver and cause problems in the body. 4, we need movement. We need exercise. We need to move. So they say for every 30 minutes that you're sitting, you're supposed to be up and moving at least 5 minutes. That's the most recent data that would come out in the last year or so. And last but not least, healthy mindset. So being a positive mindset. So this is a program to help you clear the fog out of there, which will help. But also, I always encourage people to make sure that they are being gracious to themselves and being kind to themselves. So that if they have to cheat a little bit, that's fine. It's okay. It's like, as long as we're doing, majority of the time, doing good choices, then it's good. These right here are not good choices. This is like, what are we putting into our bodies and onto our bodies? And this is our society today. Would you agree with that? With this, yes, yes. So, I mean, the newest thing is the vaping. I'm just wait, the research is gonna come out more and more about how bad it is. I think it's worse than smoking at this point. People are actually getting sicker faster. At least, some people could smoke for 20 years and then the cancer shows up. This is now, we're having lung issues with teenagers now within months. You cannot monitor it. It's very hard to monitor it. Like I'm saying from taking a history from patients. When patients, I go, okay, how much you vape, how much dosage you're doing, whatever, how many pods or whatever you're doing. They're like, I don't know. Like, nobody can give me a number. Whereas when I ask how many cigarettes you're smoking, they could be like, oh, I smoke half a pack, or I smoke a couple. They would actually give me a number. They do not know the number when they're vaping. They have no idea, or if you're doing it, I'm sorry, but you don't have any idea how much you're putting in your body and how much toxins you're doing and what damage you're doing to your body. So, find a way to get off that if you can, for sure. But this program will help you no matter what if you're still doing some of these things. One in the corner up here is cosmetics. So we actually, everything we put on our skin actually gets absorbed into our bloodstream. So that is something that the liver has to process. Obviously our drugs, we have our trans fats, our sugars, our colors, all the preservatives they do on like our fast food or convenient foods, and then just the fun foods, of course, everybody loves their wine. And that is, maybe somewhat natural, but again, everything in moderation. We tend to, unfortunately, in our society, overindulge in that. So cleaning products are up there because we do inhale them, and also if you're not wearing gloves, but gloves in themselves have plastic in them. So, whatever we're doing is like we're just surrounded by this. So there is so many people that go, well, why should I eat really good? I eat really clean. I don't think I should need a detox. And I'm like, do you live in this world? Because if you just live in our society now today, it's so toxic. I just recommend everybody do it. I try to live as best and clean as possible myself, and I still do this twice a year because I don't know, what I've picked up along the way. And every time I do it, I feel better when I do it. So here we go. So what you should avoid. During this program, this is being kind of more conscious of your environment. What are you bringing in? What toxins are you bringing into your body? So, are you touching a lot of chemicals? Are you using air fresheners? So this one comes up because there's like so many air freshener commercials, like all the time on the TV, and I'm like, that's chemicals that you're breathing in. And again, just like your skin, anything you breathe in, that actually has more of a direct line through your lung into your blood system to go into your bloodstream, and then the liver has to cleanse. But that also is going through you. Also look at your candles. If you have candles that are not, like natural based, like soy based or things like that, as you breathe them, you're also breathing in chemicals. Obviously, perfumes as well. They use just a lot of like cheaper product material nowadays, and those are just not very good for your health. So here's another list of chemicals. So we have, now I have toxins, so I got sugar up here. So I've been cleaning out my back room, cleaning out some filing cabinets. I come across an old article talking about, it had 78 reasons to avoid sugar, and they were saying back that if sugar had to be approved by the FDA, it wouldn't pass nowadays because we know it has so much so it causes so much ill effects. Obviously, we need sugar for our brain, but we consume over 100 pounds of sugar in our society, so in a year or whatever. It's insane. Whereas back 80 years ago, they consumed 1 to 5 pounds of sugar. So we are just overindulged, and again, that's that diabetes. We're seeing it's continuing on the rise now. They're looking for checking diabetes in preschoolers before preschool physicals now. They're requiring, some diabetes screenings, because now we're having that heart disease we're seeing in elementary school. So this is stuff that is affecting our health as a whole. You know, plastics, we turn to plastic everything. Deodorants, we absorb that. That's very porous under our armpits, and we absorb whatever we're putting on our armpits, so pay attention what's in your deodorant. And then, we have other unnecessary vaccinations, maybe doing things that you're not supposed to do. So that's, you gotta make your choice of what's best for your health, and realize a vaccine in itself, they have whatever virus or whatever they want to do, they put attenuator in there. So attenuator is usually some metal type component, and it's on purpose to stimulate the nervous system and the immune system to say, hey, we want you to pay attention because we want you to attack this stuff and make your antibodies and do whatever you want to do. So it's not the primary purpose of that vaccine, it's just something to assist the vaccine. But unfortunately, when we compound these more and more and more, a lot of times there's aluminum or mercury derivatives of those. Those are heavy on our brain and on our nervous system. And so another reason why is just make sure you detox, to make sure you cleanse those, try to get those things out. So makeup, your lotions, just over-the-counter medicines. I have so many people, and recently I had somebody that's taking a lot of just, Advil, and she's like, I take, like 6 a day, and she's been doing it for a long time. And it says on those bottles on purpose, like if you're taking over a certain couple weeks, like you should need to see a doctor, because those are not meant to be taken long term. They're gonna hurt you in some way, because they're meant for short-term relief. They're not meant for long-term problems. What's nice about cleansing you is it's gonna help your natural anti-inflammatories help your body heal and feel better. So toxins contribute to fatigue, weight gain, and because toxins actually get stored in fat a lot of times too. Reduce mental clarity, so that foggy brain, and we have also skin issues. So it's sometimes the body, how it detoxes a lot of times through skin issues, and also it doesn't have this up there, but lung issues too, like asthma, bronchitis, that kind of stuff, because the body wants to get it out and trying to use whatever resource to try to get stuff out sometimes. And then joint discomfort, sometimes it gets deposited around the joints and it irritates in the joints. So how does your body deal with these chemicals and toxins? So God blessed us with this awesome organ called the liver, and we are abusing the crap out of it like crazy, because the liver is responsible for a lot of things. We're gonna go over that in a second, but I've been told that the liver can survive up to 75% of it gone or destroyed or abused. Okay, so it's pretty impressive that an organ that can take a pretty huge hit and still be working for us. I think that's the only way most of us are still alive in our society, because that liver is just so resilient. Unfortunately, I do have a newest thing we're having is a lot of non-alcoholic fatty liver, which means people who don't drink any alcohol, that are getting cirrhosis or fatty liver, and they're attributing it to high fructose corn syrup. So it's because high fructose corn syrup is in everything. They replaced, it was cheaper to use that, a couple decades ago, and replace sugar. It was cheaper, easier to make, all that. They replaced sugar in most of the products. You look at canned goods, anything, ketchup, everything's got it almost in it. So it's actually causing problems. So it's really struggle for the liver to break that down. So liver's role. Okay, so the liver does detoxifies like our oil filter, like your car has an oil filter. This is our liver filters all our toxins, but it also produces proteins. It also helps with clotting factors, producing clotting factors, so we don't bleed to death. It also helps us, produce the bile. So bile is important for us to break down our fats in our body. So a lot of people, then it goes into the gallbladder, and the gallbladder waits for you to eat fat, and then it releases that. If you don't have a gallbladder, then the liver still produces that bile. It's just slowly trickling into the stomach. So without the liver, we can't grow properly. we'll bleed to death and we'll waste away to nothing. So it stores, our vitamin A, D, K, and B12, so a lot of important vitamins that we need for our vitality, and also iron and zinc. So I remember my grandpa eating liver as a kid, and I actually tried it a couple times as a kid as well. My kids have never, ever, ever ate liver. So we have ancestors, generations where they ate, the food that could restore our bodies, and we don't do that anymore. We don't restore that. Now we get fragmented vitamins over the counter or whatever, and they're not as good as back in the day to eat. So if you will eat liver, I suggest to eat liver. But if you have to, this great company that I work with, Standard Process, does have liver in capsule form. So they have zinc liver chelator and zinc chelate. So they have different things that have, that's where you get the iron naturally done and where it's at. And it's nice because it's got all the components that you need, like we used to. So liver also converts fats, to sugar and sugar to fat. So this is part of the reason why we're getting a fatty liver, but also because why we are eating all this sugar. That liver is getting taxed because it's pushing all that sugar to put the fat in the body. Our obesity is up. We have 33% obesity in majority of most of the southern states, if not more. It's very, very, very bad. So the liver is just working hard. So this program helps give the liver a little thing. And one other little tip about the liver is it also helps against germ warfare. So anything in our body that needs to be broken down, that needs to be taken out of our body, the liver has to deal with. So any of the non-foods, so any artificial sweeteners, artificial coloring, all that, the liver's job is to convert that, to get it out. Because it's okay, we ate it, it doesn't do us any good, nutritionally or building cells, it doesn't give us energy, it's a non-food, it's a non-thing. And they're okay, you got this in here, now I have to process it and get it out of you. So it's responsible for that. And then it also helps clean up any cells, like I said, we're constantly renewing our cells. So dead cells, all those things that we break down, the liver goes, okay, we repackage it, let's get it out. It's constantly working and helping us. So the program, Standard Process, just launched this a couple of years ago. I used to do the purification diet, and it had all the pills, and the protein shakes were awful. I was just telling somebody before this. And now it's pretty awesome. It's a pretty easy program as far as the shakes go. Now, there is this program, I love about this program is not only it's feeding your body, helping you detox, giving you stimulation and herbs to help get that liver starting to do what it needs to do, but you're also learning how to eat healthy. And even now, I already tried, a little bit of different foods that I never, don't eat normally or whatever. So it helps to get, expand your palate and help you realize, okay, blueberries are sweet. Why am I going for the chocolate, or why am I going for other things that aren't as good for me when I could just do natural things for your cravings? So what's great about this program, this is a new slide for me. So what's great about this program is so when the liver has phases of detoxification, and so what's in the shakes is we have, and I just got a little powder right here. So it's just a little plain powder. It's really good about shaking up, but I'm going to do that in a minute. So first, the herbs stimulate whatever's been accumulating in the liver, like that liver filter that gets clogged up, for example. It starts to stimulate. So there's herbs in it that help stimulate that, and then so that's they spin off metabolites. Now, I tell people if they're going to do this, I want you to make sure you're committed to at least the 10 days. There's 10 days, and you can do them 28 days. There's two different ways. If you've never done one before, I always tell people do at least try the 10 days first. Maybe next time in the fall, I do it twice a year. I do spring and fall. Fall, maybe do the longer run, because my history of 18 years doing this, most people always crap out about 9 or 10 days the first time they're going through it. Because the first program used to be 21 days and they didn't make it. So they Genius League now, so they have 2 different phases now. So you can do 10-day or you can do 28 days, and that's because of human behavior. The first time through, it's like, it's just such a different thing, lifestyle or whatever. But you need to at least commit, because that first couple days, you're tossing off the liver, you're kind of spinning off some metabolites that need to be neutralized. And where they get neutralized is with our greens. Our greens help like stimulate the little things to attach to them, and they need to be kind of continue to clean up. Then you know, it helps it eliminate as well. So get it out, attach to them and eliminate. So you want to go through these whole phases. So you know, you need to commit to at least 10 days. Now back in the day, there was I've had patients try like you fast and you only drink water, and then like I've had them like maple syrup and lemon juice and like all these crazy like fasting diets and to detox, and most people like they've had reactions with that. It's too harsh on the body. First off, most people are too nutrient deficient to make that happen. Let it be healthy. I've had a particular patient actually spin her into pancreatitis, you know, where the pancreas got inflamed. So you don't, you know, like what I love about this program is like it's like gently stimulating this process and feeding your body at the same time, so you don't have a lot of reactions with that. With that, you know, they have recommendations. So with that is like you have the shakes. So everybody thinks, okay, you got to just do these shakes for 10 days. No. This is also teaching you to eat. So there's like, you know, a handy dandy book that comes with it, and it gives you diet recommendations, what foods to eat, which are trying to be clean, which we'll talk about a little bit. And it's got a bunch of recipes in here too to kind of give you some tips on there. And mostly it's saying, I say, you know, you want twice as much vegetables. You can eat unlimited vegetables if you want, as fruit, making sure you do get some healthy proteins in, and make sure that you're drinking lots of water. Obviously you're trying to flush things out, that elimination part. So here's part of the low carb Mediterranean diet, which is recommended. Now they say the low carb Mediterranean diet because that is the best research diet that we have for people to be healthy. People who live to be in their hundreds, generally they realize that they do this style of diet, which is mostly fish and lots of deep greens and natural things. So healthy protein, so you know, like cold water fish, salmon, making sure it's wild caught, particularly salmon is farmed a lot of times, and they just put the red dye. It's like they'll be white if they actually put dye in them. So make sure it's like, you know, wild caught salmon, tuna, you know, poultry, you know, you can do wild game, grass-fed beef, you know, beans and lentils. So making sure you are getting, you know, at least 1 to 2 servings of protein, you know, your healthy proteins a day. You know, you can do some walnuts, flax seeds, avocados, you know, healthy oils. I do encourage people to do the coconut oil, adding, you know, cooking with that. Now I have avocado oil. I haven't added that up. I love the avocado oil. I cook a lot with that. And so the olive oils, we've known that's really good for a long time. That's right there, Mediterranean. But again, make sure it's like organic. It's because you want to try to do as best you can. Now I understand some people it's like good, but I can't, good, better, best. You know, it's like there's like this hierarchy. So I tell people try to go for the gold if you can get organic and get the best. But if you can't, then go next. When I tell people for like fruits and vegetables, like right now it is spring. We don't really have a lot of fresh stuff out that's that great. So, you know, if you can't get really good organic fresh, then go ahead and get frozen organic. You know, and then if you need to, go to canned. It's like do the best you can. So like get that hierarchy. And like I said before, twice as many veggies as fruits. And I lost my pointer. It came off. Okay, we got it. And we gotta avoid trans fats. Pretty much any fat that you don't understand what, if you don't know what kind of fat it is, just don't deal with it. So if it's not like a coconut oil, or if it's not, you know, the avocado, like if you don't know like the canolas and stuff, there's still like controversy on those. You know, I just try to stick with the other ones that we know that are good for us. Sugar. So I'm on like day 4 of no sugar, and cheese too. Sorry, cheese is another one because this is kind of an elimination diet. I'll admit, like, you know, if you have one thing that you don't want to give up, some people can't give up their caffeine. You know, it's on here somewhere. Oh, I didn't put that on there. I should have. Caffeine is one of them as well. Some people like, I need my cup of coffee, at least my one cup, you know. And like, you have one thing, fine, that's fine. Do the best you can. Again, I'm talking about grace, especially the first time, or maybe even the second time, or whatever, going through this. I've done this, I don't even know. I'm probably over 30 times at this point. So I can do these things. So I've given up sugar. I will admit, you do kind of feel kind of crappy the first couple of days. If you know, like I said, you're spinning off these metabolites. You're not feeling too great. I was a little foggy headed. Poor Karen was like, "What?" I was like talking to me. I'm like, I was spacing out. This my office manager. I'm like, "What did I say? What's going on?" So I was kind of spacey, and I was craving sugar. I don't generally eat sugar anyway. I don't generally eat like straight sugar or anything like that. So it's just so funny because what happens is you have like a symbiotic relationship that happens like either with yeast in your body or these bad bacteria that love sugar, and when they start to die off too with this, because you're kind of pulling out their fuel source, and then you're giving the good bacteria like the fiber and the good stuff to like rebuild those guys. So these guys start to like kind of somehow communicate with your brain. I'm serious. I've done it enough time, and it's like, feed me, feed me, feed me. I'm like, no, I'm not feeding you. But after like right now, I'm great. Like last night, I was like, I need sugar, and I'm like, okay, blueberries. I can eat blueberries, you know. And today, I'm like, oh, this is great. And I've done this so many times. It's like kind of that after that third day, it's like, okay. And then the rest of it, I'm like, I'm fine. I could look at whatever. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm good. I don't need anything. So it's like a very fascinating thing that when you go through this, and it feels really, and your energy starts to pick up. You feel really great. Aches and pains go down. So you know, anything processed, condiments are really. You know, if you can make some homemade like salad dressings, they give you some recommendations in the book. I say, you know, if you do have to do, like if you do need a caffeine, try to switch to green tea, because there is good antioxidants in green tea, and so try to switch to that, so that way you have things. I do have, like, I try to do more natural, even though I gave up sugars, I still try to do honey. So I did a little bit of honey in my green tea this morning. I'm gonna make some power protein balls, because my husband likes those with the chia seeds and flax seeds, and you know, the nut butter. We're doing almond butter, and so I'm going to use honey to help combine that. So you know, that's fine. The point is trying to get what you know, try to make sure you're doing well. Also, this is the time to start paying attention to serving sizes. So I've talked about this like till I was blue in the face. So this is like, I just Googled this. It's on every, you know, you can find out. Just, I want you to start looking at what you eat, paying attention to your serving sizes. So organic, I already talked about it. This is best. This is just a record study that shows like organic nutrients. There's way more nutrients in organic vegetables, not just the pesticides are gone. In other words, I've done these in other talks. You can ask me later if you have questions on this. Water, again. Frequency. So we need three things: quality, quantity, and frequency. So drink all through the day. And I say, you know, they say half your weight in ounces, body weight in ounces. And I say nobody even gets the 8 cups anymore. So I still try to have people aim for the 8 cups of water. And then if we're doing good on that, then we can go to the half of your body weight in ounces. But it makes, for me, I think it makes it too complicated. And like I said, most people, at least in my realm that come into my office, struggle with it. And I'll admit it, I'm one of those people. I'm lucky if I get the 4 to 6. I probably rarely hit 8. So I try. I'm doing really good because I'm doing the purification diet right now. I'm doing a lot better. And I do recommend drinking throughout the day, taking sips and drinking throughout the day, and trying not to drink too much during meals, because during meals is when, you know, your digestive enzymes, they have to get a certain pH to activate all those, and we don't want to dilute those enzymes in our stomach. So try to avoid too much drinking, you know, water during meals. Yes, if you have to wash stuff down, but try to keep that drinking to the minimum and try to get most of it in between meals through the day. So other recommendations, try to make sure you get up and move and exercise, because that helps, that circulation helps get those things moving and get them past the liver better. So try to make sure to get up, like I said, every 30 minutes, try to get up and move around for five minutes. They say, if you actually got up in the morning and did a 10-minute walk and did a 10-minute walk at lunchtime and did another 10-minute walk when you got home, that's like, still like a 30-minute workout. It still counts. It still counts. It still works for your body health-wise. There's some research that they did a study on that. Adequate rest. This is the time to make sure our sleep-deprived nation. Try to pay attention to your sleep. Try to get to bed a little bit earlier. I'll be honest, it's kind of a little motivation when you're like doing the craving, like I'm just going to bed. Sorry, I don't think about it. And another thing is, it's a craving here. It's not a craving here, because pay attention. Because a lot of us, we emotionally, we eat when we're bored. We just eat to entertain ourselves. So it's like, okay, am I hungry here or am I hungry here? I'm like, I'm fine here. It's all up in my head. So, and then again, try to maybe take some time to like just slow down, practice like your deep breathing, practice your mindfulness, meditation, prayer, all that is a good time to incorporate other healthy things to help you get through this. And, just also appreciate your body. Like, it's an awesome machine. This helps it work a lot better. So, what's awesome about this, it's got the key ingredients all in the shake. It's safe, easy, and effective. It actually has been medically, at medical clinics, like diabetes clinics, they had great results reducing their blood sugar, A1Cs, losing weight. They had them where they not only did like the 28, and they actually continued them on to continue to lose weight and continue to help improve their numbers and their blood work. So they might have did a more modified shake schedule, but this is like how you should eat anyways. So it's kind of kickstarting you to just be better. And it's very safe and effective in removing your toxins. So what's nice is it comes with a guide. It has been approved. It's patient friendly. Actually, there's a ton, if you go on Standard Process website, there's a ton of support groups and information and data. Like, they've been doing it for so long. And just to review, it's, your nervous system's important to support it. And this actually helps reinforce, like help you produce like your endorphins and all the things that support your nervous system. Make sure you maximize what you're putting in. Make sure you get rid of bad stuff in your environment. Make sure you get moving. Make sure you're thinking well. And we are doing a special the month of March. So since detox, so we're doing 20% off. I think it is 86.
Regularly 89. It's
89. Okay.
71.20.
They just did a price increase with everybody else's price increases going on right now. So we're doing, it's usually almost $90, but we're doing 20% off. So just the month of March. So if you're interested, give us a call. You can go on the website, thedoctorandyou.com, and if you go on one of the links, you can order through the website, but you won't get a discount. So you got to call the office. My office manager's like, don't tell them that. So we can't get the discount through the website. We can't change those parameters. If you call the office, we can give you the discount, or if you can come in, then we'll get that. Also, this year actually, I wrote a book called Journey to Vibrant Health, and I do Facebook Lives every Monday on Rachel Northern's Facebook, and I do little health tips every Monday. And this year I'm going through Journey Through Vibrant Health, which is a book I published a couple years ago, and I'm excited about that. And then at the top, new information is I am changing my name as of next month, so of April of 2022 now. We're going to be Johnsburg Chiropractic and Wellness Center. So Northern Light Care is going to be retired, and we're now embracing the next exciting chapter of the office. So Johnsburg Chiropractic and Wellness Center. So if you see the name change on our Facebook, that's what's going on. I'm still going to be here teaching and helping people. And one thing before we go off, I just want to show you how easy it is to make the shakes. This is actually my magic. I have the magic bullet at home, which I love. And I just have, this is just one scoop of the thing. So usually you put 2 scoops in there. I have just my cup. What I have here is half, I do almond milk. I do half almond milk, half water, so like 3 or 4 ounces of almond milk and 3 or 4 ounces of of water, and then I just have my shaker ball, my stir shaker ball in here. And I'm gonna show you how great this is. So it shakes up really nice. So I'm just putting it in. My baggie. Okay. And it shakes up really smooth. So this one, like I said, this formula that they came out with is really, really great because it shakes up pretty good. Like I've had a lot of, since I'm in the healthcare area, I've had a lot of protein shakes that I've tried over the years. And they might blend really good, but they taste really bad. Or they taste, you know, good, but then they're not the greatest for you. They got things that they shouldn't have, and or they taste good and they're gritty. Yeah, they're chunky. They don't blend really good. So it shakes up really nicely, and I'm just gonna show. So just like it's just great. And I am done for tonight. So if you do want a sample, you can always come into the office, and we could offer you a sample if you want to try it before, before you buy. So take care and happy detox.